Well, good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Yeah, that makes one of us. If you'd please stand and join us for the timeless classic, Let It Be, by the Beatles. And let me get my page.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper away an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Wonderful, wonderful. Please join us in our statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Please join us in our second song, Let Go of the Shore.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore
Just close your eyes and breathe and know that you are safe. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. No need to make a plan, your heart will be your compass. Just list your sails in faith and trust that you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery.
You may be seated.
Good morning. Please take some time to check in on Facebook. Let your friends and family know that you're right here at Unity of Springfield. Yours and mine are the same. And then, if you would please silence or turn off your phone, that would be appreciated. Whether you're vaccinated or not, we currently urge all of our congregants to wear their masks while they are here inside the building. The sanctuary flowers today were provided by John Brocker in memory of his beloved mother, and aren't they beautiful? And now's that time we're going to welcome our new members. If you will come forward, please.
Well, what a great looking group, right? Yay! It's so good to see all of you up there. It is our pleasure to welcome you into membership here at Unity of Springfield. Matthew 18:20 says, "Where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of them." So for membership in Unity, there are no quote-unquote requirements other than a desire to know and to love God in whatever way that shows up for each individual. Unity offers no prescribed creed or doctrine other than to seek the truth and to follow the two great commandments that Jesus gave us, and that is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. When you come to Unity, you make an agreement to be in unity with all. The first is unity with God, the second is unity within yourself, and the third, of course, is unity with your neighbor. So if you choose, I'm going to invite each of you to share in the covenant of unity. I will read the first line, and then you may respond. We seek unity with God. We seek unity within ourselves. We seek unity with each other.
We respect the views of all our fellow seekers. Our goal is harmony here in the congregation. We join in this fellowship in growing, learning, and experiencing a better life together.
And we seek unity with all of humankind.
We seek the good in every man and woman. Our love for all people will be our constant expression. We will encourage everyone to seek the truth from spirit within.
Beautiful. Well, it is my privilege, it is my honor, it is my joy to welcome each of you into full membership in Unity of Springfield. And the first thing that we want to do is we as a congregation want to welcome you by singing I Behold the Christ in You. So if you'll just open yourselves up to receive this song. You can stand if you like, and we'll sing this together.
I behold the Christ in you.
Here the life of God I see. I can see a great peace too. I can see you whole and free. I behold the Christ in you. I can see this as you walk. I see this and all you do. I can see this as you talk. I behold God's love expressed. I can see you filled with power. I can see you ever blessed. See Christ in you, hour by hour. I behold the Christ in you. I can see that perfect one, led by God in all you do. I can see God's work is done. And I want to just tell you real quickly that every single one of these 5 people up here have already jumped in full bore into what this ministry is about. They are giving of their time, their talent, and their treasure. For those of you who don't know Brandy over here, she is our administrative assistant in the office. James is actually the person that takes care of our Facebook and our website. We're grateful for that. And we're just so grateful to have everybody here this morning. So grateful that you're in membership now. You're actually full members, and so we have a few things to give you. Give that to you. Thank you. Okay, let's see how I can do this. You guys requested a cup.
Please join me in our mission statement here at Unity of Springfield. Our mission is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. Please join me in speaking the affirmation for today's daily word. As I let go and let God, I work in divine partnership to accomplish great things. A surfer harnesses the ocean's power to complete the exhilarating ride to shore. I too place myself within the divine wave of God's power. I neither move out in front of it by forcing my will, nor do I hold back out of fear and insecurity. Only when I center myself in the wave can I discern the answer or the direction I seek. I let go into the magnificent power of God and ride the wave that is my inner guidance and direction. In prayer, I release the need to know what is going to happen and trust that my highest good is unfolding. I do what is mine to do, leaving the greater part to God. I listen to my intuitive knowing, heed the guidance I receive, and then follow through on my inner promptings with deliberate, purposeful action. The scripture is Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, if you'll join me. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. And let's repeat the affirmation. As I let go and let God, I work in divine partnership to accomplish great things. During our prayer and meditation, please hold the following in prayer for their highest and best experience of life: Carrie, Derek, Mark, David, Beverly, Linda, John and Jordan, Jesse, Jeremy, Shug, Tom, Mary Lou, Mark, Ron, Shirley, Jenny, Edna, Dana, Christine, Krista, Cindy, Fern, Wendy and her children, and anyone who comes into your mind. Allow the beautiful, peace-filled tones of the prayer bowl to center you as we begin to move into our time of prayer and meditation. We hear and we integrate the vibrations of the prayer bowl to center our minds on prayer and meditation. We direct our minds to center and focus on the Christ Spirit within each and every one of us, no matter whether we feel worthy or deserving. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Begin to relax your body, starting at the top of your head. Relax down through the forehead, the ears, eyes, jaw. Relax your neck and shoulders. Roll your neck and your shoulders if you feel tension. Follow and relax your arms, wrists, fingers. Return your attention to your heart and your lungs. Relax your chest, abdomen, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, toes. Inhale, hold, exhale. For those which prayer was requested, we affirm their healing, their prosperity, their guidance. For ourselves, our families, our friends, for every person living on this planet, we accept and emit healing mentally, emotionally, and physically. May all God's children live an abundant life in love, peace, and gratitude. May all be accepted, blessed, respected, and valued. With peace, we embrace peace around us and peace of mind. Maintaining our consciousness of prayer, allow our relaxation and prayerfulness to remain, continue into our prayer and meditation. May my words become your words. As I let go and let God, I co-create with the divine to accomplish great things. I lean into my intuition, trusting myself and God's guidance. I not only listen to the guidance I receive, I follow through with intentional, purposeful action. I let go and let God. I trust that my highest good is unfolding. I release my expectations and listen for the guidance I seek in the silence. In gratitude and joy, I am filled with zeal for the potentiality and the possibilities that lie before me. Amen.
Well, it's great to have Denny back on drums. I think Rich and I
Yeah.
both are happy to be back in our normal habitat. So without further ado, Ms. Carrie Brashear singing Relax and Let Go by Karen Drucker and John Hoy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, 'cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am safe. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. And now I see what my life can be when I trust in the process and have faith. And now I know when I just let go that I'll have all I'll ever need. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax and let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax and let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, I am well, all is well.
Beautiful. Thank you, Carrie, and our band, and Karen Drucker and John Hoy. Well, good morning, everyone. How we doing today? Yes, all right. I'm glad to hear that. I'm assuming, I want to say good morning, too, to everyone that's watching online. We're so grateful that we have this opportunity now to live stream and to reach people beyond our walls. It's so wonderful, and we get great feedback on the ability that people have to watch from home. I have been asked, why am I using a handheld mic right now? So I just want to tell you, we have my earpiece ordered, but as with COVID times right now, everything's just taking a longer time to get in. So that's why I'm using this. So I'm assuming by now, given all the songs that we've sung this morning, given the daily word, and given the meditation, that we might have an inkling that today we're going to talk about let go and let God. Let it be. And it's interesting because when I go to the daily word, and I go to like the individual daily words, every single month without fail, there's one called Let Go and Let God. And it's not always that consistent, with all the other topics, but with Let Go and Let God, it's always there. So I'm thinking it's something we need some help with. Would you think? Yeah. So we started our service this morning with the song Let It Be. Wasn't that wonderful? We're so excited because we just were able to purchase our license to be able to do all kinds of music. So now we can bring in secular music. So it was just so fun to be able to do that. Well, Paul McCartney, that was the last single that he wrote before he left the Beatles. And he was really feeling troubled in his own being as he was trying to make the decision on whether he was going to stay with the band or leave. And so one night in a dream, his mother, Mary, came to him, and she told him it was going to be okay and to let it be. And he found great comfort in that. And obviously the song then sprung from that dream. And he said it was really a message of positivity, because from that dream he really was able to, quote unquote, let go and let God. to let it be. So we're going to take just the first verse of this song and talk about it in reference to how it relates to our personal lives. So when I find myself in times of trouble, and I liken trouble in our lives to being those times when something shows up in our life, that something maybe is being stirred up in us, it's being stirred up in our life, or being stirred up in the life of someone that we love, stirred up in our economy, stirred up in the country, stirred up in the world. And these aren't necessarily times that we want to embrace so quickly. Anybody ever have those times? And so what happens when these things show up? We resist. And we wail and we say no, and we hold on to what has been, even if what has been is not really working for us. We are pretty good clingers, aren't we, to the way that it has been. And this state actually has a name in nature that has to do with caterpillars, and it's called the diapause. Now, Sue Baggett-Day, has anybody ever read any of her books? Oh my gosh, The Secret Life of Bees and Mermaid Chair, and the book that I'm referencing right now is called When the Heart Waits. It's a beautiful spiritual book. And so she had looked up the whole idea of the caterpillar and the butterfly. And what she found out was that caterpillars don't all go into the chrysalis stage when they're quote unquote supposed to. That many of them actually resist that time and stay in their larval state for a year or even more. And this state that the caterpillar stays in is called the diapause. And she said it was interesting to her as she read this, because she said, my goodness, all of God's creatures have a hard time letting go. She goes on to say, there's a natural diapause in the human journey of transformation, a time when we hold on to the self that we know. It seems that the moment of our greatest possibility, a desperate clinging rises up in us. We make a valiant attempt to save our old life. Yes? In the words of Daniel Day Williams, we fear it's all we have. Even its sufferings are familiar, and we clutch them because their very familiarity is comforting. Yet so long as we aim at the maintenance of this present self, as we now conceive it, we cannot enter the larger selfhood, which is pressing for life. Wow. So these times of trouble, they always offer us that opportunity to grow and to expand and to become more of who and what we have come here to be. And, just like the caterpillar, as it finally is able to let go, then it allows the redistribution and the reorientation of its life to become the butterfly. It's that redistribution and reorientation of life that's tough, isn't it? It is. I mean, that's where things are kind of getting topsy-turvy for us. And that's where a lot of times we'll go back. Like, no, I'm just going to go back here to where it wasn't good or wasn't comfortable because I know what this is. And there's this whole great story about caterpillars and this gook that they turn into, and they have these imaginal cells in them, but they become this goopy mess until they become the butterfly. And I don't know about you, but I know I have felt like a goopy mess sometimes in my life. Yeah, absolutely. So, those times of trouble. Mother Mary comes to me. So this mothering aspect of God is here to remind us, is here simply to love us and to let us know how much we are absolutely loved. But I don't believe that the vast majority of us really get this. And it's interesting because I know in today's class, he was talking about the mystery of life and talking about this idea that it's hard for us really in our humanness to comprehend some of these things that are true about the nature of God and the nature of ourselves. Because the reality is that when you and I, when we start really getting what this love is, we are going to be living in a very different world. When we get it, when we anchor it, when we live from it, more often than not, we're going to be living in a very different world. We just don't understand the vastness and the depth and the breadth and the width and the magnificence and the limitlessness of this love. And we ourselves limit it. So as I was working on this talk, I had the realization for myself that, I sometimes play this game kind of with the God of my understanding. And I think it's always really good to have these things kind of come up so you can recognize them and go, oh, hey, look at that. So I know that there are days, I think we all try to live our best life. We try to come from that place of love. We try not to judge unrighteously. We try not to gossip and talk about people. We try not to have negative attitudes. Does anybody make that happen every single day, every moment of their lives? So sometimes when I go to bed at night, when I close my eyes, that's a time that I'm just in gratitude. That time that I'm just like, thank you for life. Thank you for this day. And I always go to thank you for loving me. But on those days when I feel like I haven't quite measured up, I find myself almost like saying, I am so sorry, because I didn't really live up to what I know I could have lived up to today. I didn't really handle maybe this thing the way I could have handled it. Almost as if God could be disappointed in me. And in that, I feel unworthy. And I don't think I'm probably alone in that. But here's the thing that I want to remind us, and here's what I go to so much more quickly now, is that love cannot see anything but your perfection. Love, God as love, only sees your perfection, your beauty, your magnificence. Love cannot see your perceived flaws. There are perceived flaws, right? But God, as love, as Charles Fillmore told us, love loves for the sake of loving. It's not concerned with who or what it loves. It just loves because that's its nature. Like the sun shining forth is its nature. There is no withhold ever there, ever. And so what that means is you don't have to bargain or beg or sacrifice or do anything differently than right this moment, to be loved any differently than you always have been and that you are at this moment. And at this moment, and at every present moment, you are completely seen, you are completely loved, you are completely supported. There's no withhold there whatsoever. So you know what that means? By virtue of the fact that you exist, you are worthy. You are worthy of the good that God has for you. There's nothing you've ever done that can ever change that, because God is love. And that's why the two great commandments are, love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength. Love God. Let yourself fall in love with this love. And the second tells us how to do that by loving ourselves and loving our neighbor, which is everyone. That's the great commandments. That was the bottom line in the Bible. That was the bottom line of Jesus' teaching, was this love. And I believe, my friends, that there's only really one main purpose why all of us have come here. And Jesus said it, and that's to love, period. To love, to be loved, to be the beloved, to really immerse ourselves in what this means and how this shows up for us. But I do believe that there was no mistake when Jesus said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And we can only love ourselves when we realize that we are purely and perfectly loved at this moment and every moment. There's no withhold, no withhold. That is amazing, isn't it? I mean, that takes away anything that wants to keep us small, that wants to keep us, keep us shrinking. It reminds us that there, when Jesus said it's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, I came that my joy may be in you, that your joy may be full. I came that you may have an abundant life. He meant those things. He meant that the desire was such goodness for your life. And we have to accept it. So then the speaking words of wisdom, we have this mothering aspect of God, this love that just runs. And I have to tell you this too, that I know that as a child, when I was hurt or when I was scared, I went to my mother. And my mom would just wrap her arms around me, and she would help me to feel safe. And I know not everybody had that experience, but I know even as a mother myself, that's what I do. But I want you to know that even if you didn't have that experience as a child, and I wish you would have had that experience, that the experience that we had or the experience that we have given is far more expansive in the realm of God, in the realm of love, because there is no withhold. And there is that instant like, I've got you. Don't worry about it. I've got you. And I know in my own life, and I know in your lives, this has been proven to us over and over again, hasn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so speaking words of wisdom. We know that when we hear these words of wisdom, they are not coming from our head, are they? They're coming from a place where we've allowed our mind to be immersed in our heart space, where it is then guided by love, so we can hear that deeper wisdom. And that deeper wisdom that Paul McCartney heard was, let it be. Just let it be. Everything is going to be all right. It's going to work out. Now, it's easy to do that, isn't it? Yeah, it sounds good, doesn't it? But, sometimes it's tough for us. So I'm going to just share some personal experience. When I think back on my life and the times when I really was a Klingon, yeah, it's a Star Trek thing. So like in my first marriage, which was like 26 years, I was not going to let go of the life that I knew that I was supposed to be living. I mean, I just knew that was the life that I was supposed to live. And it was sincerely, at that point, the only life that I had ever imagined for myself. So that life for me was that I would be a wife and I would be a stay-at-home mom. I had no desire to have a career, zero, because that's what I knew then. So when the relationship in that marriage started to get rocky, and when the relationship initially told me, this probably isn't the best for you both to be in, I clung and stayed for 8 more years, probably than it was good for either of us to stay. I'm not regretting that. I'm not saying I have any regret in that, because I learned and I grew through that experience. But what I can recognize now is that I was in my own diapause. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to go into that chrysalis and become goop. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to make it work no matter what, even if it's uncomfortable for me to do. I just didn't have the faith then to let go and to let God. So when I say to let go and let God, or to let it be. My friends, I don't say that lightly. I don't say that as though it's an easy thing for us to do. I wish that I had a magic key for us, because I know that there are times in my life when I can let go easily, and other times that I'm like, I want to let go while I'm holding on like this, I want to let go. And then when you finally get to that letting go place, aren't you like, wow, why didn't I let go earlier? But we get there when we get there. I always tell people that when I counsel them, you'll get there when you get there, and you won't get there until you get there. But once you get there, you're there. Yeah, it's pretty cool to get there. So, okay, I love this time of year. I love fall. I love the beauty of the leaves that are coming. We know that, with the coming of fall, we have that the leaves are going to be changing color, and that before long, these leaves are going to be gently falling from the trees. And I just love just everything that fall brings to us. And of course, nature is just one of our greatest teachers. Now, here's the thing about the tree. The tree doesn't try to hold on to the leaves, because innately, the intelligence in it knows that it has to let the leaves go, because it needs to conserve its energy through the winter, so that in the spring it has the energy to birth the new leaves and to sustain them. Now, also, there's no fear in the tree that is saying, if you let go of what was, or you let go of what you have, you're never going to leaf again. That's not what nature teaches us. Nature always tells us that when we trust and let go of that which we know is no longer serving our greater good, and my friends, do we know it? We know it. We are great justifiers. We're great at putting those blinders on and saying, I'll deal with this later. But we know it. Nature tells us that somehow we're going to be put back together, and we're going to be more than we were before the letting go. Can I get an amen on that? Amen. Okay, now, here's the thing. When we resist those changes, so I think about the leaves that fall easily off the trees, but there's always those leaves that it takes the bitter winds to come in and get those leaves off the trees, those last leaves that are just hanging on. Well, those to me represent the troubled winds. They do blow into our lives, and initially they're kind of light winds. They're the winds that are saying, hey, this may not be working for you. You might want to think about something else. And we go, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay here. Wow, okay, we're going to get some more winds going here, and it's starting to get a little bit louder. But I know in my own life, I've clung on for so long that I've had those hurricane winds come into my life. And you know what they do? They help me to let go of that which I was not able to let go of on my own. Have we all had those experiences? Boom. Big change. We're out of here. Here's the thing I can tell you. I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say, like all of a sudden they get fired from a job or something, and they're devastated by it. But then ultimately what they say is, I have not been happy in that job for so long. I really wanted out of that job. And it's like, oh, hello. The universe is responding to our deepest desires, and we weren't listening. And so, boom, I do like to call it the cosmic 2x4 comes and knocks us out of something, and, we go into this whirlwind. Now, what I'm talking about when I say letting go of things we weren't able to let go, so maybe letting go of a relationship that is no longer serving you, or a work environment, or old ideas and beliefs, or habits, or whatever. And I am not saying, go and leave your partner today, or go and quit your job today. What I'm saying is this: take time to step back and allow yourself to look at that bigger picture with your mind in your heart. Let your mind go into that heart space. And from that place, open yourself up to, what is it that feels like the next right step for me? And here's what I can tell you from personal experience, and I'm sure probably from your experience as well, is that I know when I've reached the right decision, because there's a sense of peace that comes over me. Now, I may have some fear about the decision I'm making, but the peace comes over me that this is the right thing to do. Yes? Okay. So here's the thing. Trust whatever emerges for you in that. And I always have that sense of knowing when I've made the right decision. And you will be guided from there. And stay awake. The greatest gift you can give yourself in those times of change is to stay awake. And I promise you that you will be amazed at how Spirit speaks and moves and guides. You will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is my next thing to do. So in my first marriage, there came a point when I knew that the relationship was done. I knew beyond a shadow of doubt, but we didn't have any money. And I've shared this before, but it's so relevant. And this was such a pivotal time in my life. And it taught me so much. So, but I knew that I would know what my next step was going to be. I just knew it. And in fact, it was interesting because one day somebody who's very close to my heart and I were out walking, and she said to me, "Why don't you leave?" And I said, I know that I'm going to know when the right time is. I absolutely know that I'm going to know when the right time is. So one day, I was in a situation, and it was a very stressful situation. And in the midst of this stressful situation, and for me, I don't quote unquote hear an audible voice, but it's kind of like that. Like I always think like something just kind of comes in and it's so clear to me. And in the midst of this stressful situation, what came to me was, you will never be able to give enough to make another person okay. I want you to hear that. Anybody who needs to hear this. You can never give enough to make another person okay. I was ready to give up almost everything. And in that moment, that message came into me, even though I was in the midst of a very stressful situation, the peace that passed all understanding came over me. And I knew in that moment, it's time. So I reached out to a friend of mine I had not told. Clay, you talked today about keeping your pain in isolation. I was great at that. I held it in. Not a single person in my family, in my friend circle, knew that there were even any problems in my relationship. So this was a huge shock to everybody. I went to a friend and said, "Hey, if I need a place to stay, can I come and stay?" And of course, she said yes. It was the very next day. Something happened, and I left. Well, here's the great thing about the mystery of life and about how the next step is always just there in the most amazing ways and in ways that you cannot even yet haven't entertained in your consciousness, because this is the limitlessness, this is the potentiality and possibility that exist in the realm of God. The day after that, I met with my mastermind group, which is two of my good friends at the time, which is a prayer group. We got together to talk and then to support each other in our desires. They didn't know anything that was going on. I hadn't shared, so I tell them this had happened. My friend says to me, "Oh my gosh, Sue, our house sitter just canceled on us, and we don't have anybody to come and stay with our dogs for the weekend. Do you think you could come over and stay?" I said, "Sure." Now, the cool thing was, this was $1 million home. So I got to go stay in this house. It was like a resort for the weekend. Here's the beauty of this, because I didn't have money. I didn't have money at the time to rent or to buy. All of a sudden, people are asking me to house sit for them. I never entertained the thought of house sitting ever. But people are asking me to house sit for them for a week, for 2 weeks. I had a friend that asked me to house sit for 6 weeks. My friends initially that invited me to come and stay with them invited me for dinner one night, and they said, "Sue, would you just come and live with us for however long you want? You don't have to pay rent. We're just grateful that you'll be here when we want to travel." Well, okay. So I got to go live in this beautiful home for almost 6 months. It was an amazing thing. And there's so much more to this story that I can tell you, and so many more stories that I can tell you about how it's always just there for us. And our thing, my friends, is to trust. But we have to let go, don't we? We have to let go of attachment to how we think it has to be. We have to let go of control. We have to let it be. We have to give it over to something greater than just us. We just have to get out of our own way. I love the scripture. One of my favorite scriptures is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. This divine intelligence will always direct your path. I want to close with the words to a song by Karen Drucker, and it's called Altar of Love, but I think it is so beautiful and so relevant for what the message is today. And it's, I was walking through the season of dark and lonely change where the world was on my shoulders and my faith was rearranged. I knew I'd never be given more than I could bear, and Spirit reassured me there was an answer to my prayer if I lay it down, if I let it be, and let my heart rest and set it free. Lay it down, let it be, lay it down on the altar of love. So every single moment I'm left with a choice to stay in separation or to listen to the voice. It beckons me to open and be grateful for every day. It simply reminds me that there can be a better way if I lay it down and I let it be, let my heart rest and set it free. Lay it down, let it be. Lay it down where? On the altar of love. So my friends, your homework this week, if you choose to do it, is to let go and let God, to let it be, to really lean into that place of trusting and to know that you know that you know that the next step will unfold for you, because you know what? It will. And I say to you, namaste. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So as our band is coming forward and our ushers are coming forward, and we have this opportunity just to be in support of what we are here to be and to do and to grow into and expand into as Unity of Springfield. We have this opportunity to support with our finances, with our treasurer. We can give through PayPal, ccunity@sbcglobal.net, through our Tithely app. But let's go ahead and just take our gifts or the energy of our gifts in our hands, and let's bless them together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And thank you, God.
Thank you, Sue. Altar of Love, wonderful song. Also, I think written by the Scorpions, too, if I'm not mistaken, as a version. We'll be doing that one next week.
It's a different version.
And once again, Ms. Carrie Brashear singing Trust the Mystery.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Life is like a good book. You live it page by page. The story of your journey unfolding day by day. Sometimes you see the magic when all the pieces fit. Sometimes you sit there wondering, who signed me up for this? There are questions we can't answer. Reasons we can't see. Through the laughter and the tears. it. Pride will take a stand. We give God a good laugh when we announce our plan. Things don't go our way. We say there must be some mistake. We said our prayers, we tried our best. What's it gonna take? There are questions we can't answer. Reasons we can't see. Through the laughter and the tears, the courage and the fear, you learn to trust the mystery. Trust the mystery. Life will be what it will be. Trust the mystery. Set your mind and your spirit free. Trust the mystery. Be who you were born to be. Trust the mystery. There's only one choice I can see. Trust the mystery. There are questions we can't answer. Reasons we can't see. Through the laughter and the tears, the courage and the fears, you learn to trust the mystery. Trust the mystery. Life will be what it will be. Trust the mystery. Set your mind and your spirit free. Trust the mystery. Be who you were born to be. Trust the mystery. The only choice that I can see. Trust the mystery. Trust the mystery. Trust the mystery. Trust the mystery.
Thank you, Carrie. Woo. Thank you, band. That was rocking. That was a lot of fun. That was the one we were the most worried about, and we did great. So, what are the 5 principles of unity? It's God is, I am, I ask, I pray, and then I act. Well, we've done all that today except for the I act part, and that's what announcements are. It's our opportunity to get out there and to engage with our community, engage with each other, and really make a difference in our lives and in the lives of the community around us. So, our first announcement is Mary. You're an announcement.
Good morning. So this past week has been absolutely amazing. Lisa and I are so absolutely filled with gratitude for all of the people who stepped up to make this past week with the yard sale and the 5K just sensational. We had people that gave money for food for the volunteers, who brought food for the volunteers. We had all these people who stepped up to help bring stuff in and set stuff up. We had Brandy was here working all week and here all Friday and Saturday, which were supposed to be her days off. And she was here all day doing that at the yard sale for us. So thank you for that. We had Susan, who was here every single day. We had Stella, who was here all the time. Carolyn Bulig was here all the time. Linda was here all the time. It was absolutely sensational. If you had anything to do with the 5K or the yard sale, Would you please stand so we can say thank you to you? You too. You guys, I saw a whole bunch of people. I'm going to do this again because I saw people up here who did not stand up who helped. If you had something to do with the yard sale, please stand up. Sue Baggett-Day, I'm talking to you too. Dee. Thank you guys so much. And honestly, I have never been to a church where the minister was involved with the manual labor of the things that happen in the church and the fundraiser in this church. I have never seen that before, and I am so grateful to see you stand up and get right in there with the rest of us and get involved in this, so thank you for that. And my co-partner in all of this, Lisa, she is the one who was in charge of the 5K. She is the brainchild of that and did all of the work for that, so thank you. And she was here more hours than I was all week long, so it was amazing. So all of these amazing volunteers brought in $5,515 to our ministry. Yeah. It was a lot of hard work, and it was a lot of fun, and we are so grateful for all of you, so thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Mary. Little secret, I didn't do diddly squat for those, and I stood up through both of those claps. So, just get a little. So Sunday, October 10th, in the 9:15 New Thought World Religions class, Karen Crago will speak on the interpretation of Jesus' words as metaphors. Tuesday, October 12th, 6 p.m., we have a cold shelter meeting for anyone interested in participating in this project. This is basically, we're talking about doing some action. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is providing a cold shelter for the homeless people in our community that when it gets very, very cold, to have a place for them. So I would encourage you all to participate, at least to come and listen to see what the project is about, and if you're interested in being involved with it. Friday, October 22nd, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., the Fall Boutique is going to be happening. Setup will begin at 3 p.m. when you can bring and display your gently used clothing already priced for the sale. For this mini fundraiser, come shop and enjoy appetizers. On Saturday, October 23rd at 9 a.m., the Fall Grounds Cleanup will begin. The volunteer sign-up begins next Sunday. And just a reminder that we are calling forth our next junior Sunday school director. This person will be helping our young ones learn how Unity principles will prepare them for a fantastic life. This can be a one-person endeavor, or it can be co-directors. So the position is a part-time paid position. And please, after the service here, go to the fellowship hall and congratulate our new members and enjoy delicious cupcakes. Are they small cupcakes, the mini cupcakes, or big cupcakes? Big cupcakes, yeah! That's like full-size Snickers on Halloween. So anyway, let's go say hi to everyone. Let's congratulate them. Please join and stand us for I Release and I Let Go by Ricky Byers-Beckworth.
One, two, three, four.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No
Perry Brashears, Mr. Richard Sigler, Denny Robinson, and Mr. John Russ on piano. Go eat some cupcakes.